Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I want to take a moment to talk to you who are so-called born again. What does it mean to be born again? I've heard preachers say, I've watched it on television, and those of you who say you're born again have heard it said that if you believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God, that he was born of a Virgin Mary, that he came to this earth, that he lived, he suffered, that he was crucified, dead, buried, that he arose again and ascended to heaven to sit on the right hand of the Father, that if you can believe that and confess that, then you are saved. That is partly why our society is the way it is today. Because believing something like that will never enable you to deal with the world here on this planet being saved. If that saves you, you are in an infant state that you will never come out of. Let me give you a new concept that would kind of make this born again thing a little clearer to you. Being born again is like living here on earth in America, believing that the earth was flat. So everything that is done on earth is done with an understanding that you can only go so far. Because if you go far enough, you might drop off. And then one day, technology advances, and something happens to make you change your mind about that. You start believing, and I say believing because you're not big enough to see it, but you got enough proof, you got enough evidence that the earth is round. Not only don't you drop off of it, you don't float away. Now you have a new concept of how the heavens work. Well, see, born again is moving from one to the other. It's like living in these bodies, in these forms, conditioned by the way life is, conditioned by the way the world is, conditioned by our environment. But we are searching, apparently, if you're going to a church, and a church is made for sinners, so they say. A church is made for sinners. So you go into the church and get indoctrinated to a new way of thinking, and you're actually searching in your heart, and one day, on one night, or at some time, some point, you come into the knowledge, you see a new world. You envision a new world. A world where there's everything that you consider being heavenly. You see it. Not only do you believe it now, you've seen it. All it takes now is the building of it. The building of it. So here in this world, people, as far as you are concerned, are living in darkness because they're conditioned to this old way that keeps this world no good. And you're supposed to be able to articulate as you walk according to those steps that will lead to a fruition of a world like the one you're talking about. That's being born again. That's taking on the life of the world of the future, the world of your spirit, the world of your mind, the world of your heart, the world of the unseen power. And there's no match. But they don't know that. So, then you take believing that Jesus Christ did all those things I just mentioned, and compare that with seeing a new world, because you are a new creature and you see things clearly. And you begin to step out there. And this is when you learn this, then you come out of the church, out of the church building. You're a part of the real church now. You come out of the church building. Leave that spot, leave that seat for another sinner that's living in darkness, that's searching for the truth. You come out into the world and become a living example. You come out into the world and become a living example in the darkness. That's what you do. You become a living example. You don't come out there trying to compete with one another. Come out there trying to choose your marks on one side or the other. That's not being born again. That definitely is not being born again. Well, I'll leave it there. Bye-bye.